is if you want to respond to someone, you put the @ symbol and their name, and that's how you reply to them. It'll go directly to them, and everyone will see it. The other way to do it is if the RT is called a retweet. And what that does is somehow Twitter's something very interesting, and you want to give like props to that person, then if you RT it, retweet it, they will be thankful for that, believe it or not. By retweeting, it's like a stroke into someone. So if you try to get into someone's good grace or something, maybe it's someone you might want to get a relationship, or you want maybe to send you referrals or whatever it is, use the retweet. It's a really tricky tool. The DM is a direct message, which is private. No one sees it. So sometimes, if someone's doing things for you, like maybe they're retweeting you, I use the direct message because you don't make it public. It's sort of just between the two of you, and you say, thanks very much for that. You were really great. And it's a private message. It's not for everyone to hear, but you communicate with them and have a relationship. So that's what the DM is for. The number sign is a hashtag. That's a little bit more creative. You might want to use a hashtag to categorize tweets that you talk about. The reason is that some people do searches. And if you use a hashtag, not only will these things come up in searches, but you can actually tell people, go and search this hashtag and you'll get information. So for instance, if you work in a certain neighborhood, if it was Tarrytown, you put a hashtag Tarrytown. Or if you did something for free, you put a hashtag free, or a hashtag real estate. Something that you can identify with. And that's actually helpful. A lot of people haven't learned techniques on that, but hashtag is a little advanced. The other thing on Twitter fundamentals is short links. Sometimes, because it's only 140 characters, if you use a traditional link, it's really sometimes too long, and your tweet can't get out there. So you go to a site called bit.ly, bit.ly, and you sign up there. What it'll do is it'll shrink the URLs. But the bonus of bit.ly is that it actually keeps stats on it. So if someone were to click that bit.ly link you put up, you can check your stats and see how many people actually clicked that link. So bit.ly is a good one. The other interesting thing on the fundamentals is who to follow. I mean, really, you can follow whoever you want. I always say follow useful folks. Now, who's useful? It depends on what area of business you're doing. So you may want to follow people that maybe can send you referrals. There might be people that provide good information that you can maybe use or retweet and get sort of secondary benefit from. And where you can search for people is a site called Tweepz, TWEEPZ.com. What it does is searches profiles. So you might be able to search people in a certain location or a certain industry that you may want to follow. I move around because, I play around.
It doesn't look like you.
That's the older version of me. You know, some of these realtor pictures are the younger versions of them. I went the other way. No. Anyway, you can use an image or photo. It's good to use your own image. Don't follow my example. You put location, see, and you can also put a profile. Now you can change this, but profile as to what you do. But add something as to your human nature, something maybe funny or humorous, that whatever you're interested in, to make it not only seem just like a business. Say, like, if you read mine, it says promoter, publisher, writer, lawyer, broker, canasta player. So I like playing canasta. Anyway, needless to say, you can always mess with that profile. You can always change it. And it's like if you're working on something, you may put that in your profile. I'm currently working on a book. Who's a book writer here? Just finished working on my book. Put that in your profile. So people see one of your tweets and they go there, they'll read your profile. Oh, she just did a book. Oh, she's working on this new project. Oh, so you can mess with that. And then there's a link, which is here. Now, a lot of people use a link to their website or blog. You can get creative with that. I use a site called Unhub, UNHUB, and that allows you to put, or you can use a site called Cardly, CARD.ly, and it actually links to many places where you hang out. So someone must know, who is this character with these great tweets, and they click that. If it's just your website, then that's all they're going to go to, which is fine. But if you're on multiple places, how are they going to know those other places you're at? That's a trick. Do the background, this thing here. You can create your own background. You should match your brand, whatever the message you're going to get. You see mine is sort of like a, I don't know, it's a, what do you call that thing?
It's like a film strip thing?
Anyway, doesn't matter. So I put my name, I put my my email, my phone number, and I put a little saying. You can do the same thing, so when someone goes here, they may be able to contact you from what's in here. So the background can be used that way. It's set up on TweetDeck or Seismic. And what it does is if you create lists of people, you can put them in different categories. So it may be potential clients or maybe attorneys or mortgage people or wherever you want to categorize them. And they'll show up on your TweetDeck like that, so you can follow each of that group individually. So TweetDeck is very popular. Anyone use that? TweetDeck? No?
TweetGrid.
TweetGrid. Similar to that?
Very.
Okay, that's the third one then, TweetGrid. Otherwise, if you don't use that, you'll be going through that constant one-line thing. It'll be very aggravating. Okay, this is actually some good tools. Sometimes you don't have the time to tweet things, right? These tools are ways to get things sent out automatically. This one's called Social Oomph. It used to be called Tweet Later. So you can put a Twitter in there, and you could program it to be tweeted all times of the day, in the morning, afternoon, evening. So if it's something special and you want to test it, you can send it out all times of the day. You don't have to do it yourself. So that's a good tool. Another one is a Twitter feed. If you're a blogger and you hook it up to Twitter feed, your blog post will automatically go out on Twitter. You don't have to touch anything. And like I said, that's a really useful tool.
Use that one?
I use it for blog posts. So again, it's like if you like to publish information, these are good for publishing, things that don't take a lot of your time.
So
That's how you find needs on Twitter. Because a lot of people go to Twitter and say it's a waste of time, it's too much aggravation, it's all this static and people talking about nonsense. That's true. But there is a percentage of people who are actually using it to get information. So these three you should write down. Demand Spot, Search Twitter, and GeoChirp. Demand Spot, you could actually search for real estate information. I think that you can search like apartment, the location. You can even search under a development name. And you'd be surprised. When you do Demand Spot, you'll see all the tweets that talk about this topic. And then you can reach out to those people some way. Either follow them, have a conversation with them, even answer what they might have asked. They might have asked a question about a development or something. And you can just put that A symbol, answer them, and then they'll find out who you are and see what you're about, and maybe you can get a relationship. Search Twitter is another tool that you can use to find information. I put like looking for a realtor. Believe it or not, I created one. It's called Anyone Know a Lawyer, because I'm a lawyer. So I put that on Search Twitter, and it does a search, and if there's nothing recent, it'll tell you you haven't found anything. If there is, it will tell you. But then you could subscribe to that search. So what it'll do is anytime that someone puts out a tweet like that, you'll get a notice. So I just once in a while I'll get a notice and saying all these people tweeted Anyone Know a Lawyer. So now I'll look and see, and I can make contact with them. The other one is GeoChirp because it's localized. Like just in Westchester, you can set that search venue just in that little area. So if you search real estate, apartments, realtors, renting agents, you gotta play with it, but you can define it in a certain area. And it's also good to say some people from certain areas of the country maybe come to your area if they're relocating. You could actually search in that area. So these are great tools for finding needs.